What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gray Rabbit Finance. I'm your host Tyler, and today we will be updating the Ichimoku technical analysis for the Forex markets for the week of September 3rd, 2023. Let's hop in. Okay guys, so welcome back for this week's analysis. You know the deal, I explained this last week. The pink flags over here are going to be all the interesting pairs I'm keeping an eye on very closely this week. Everything in orange is going to be the ranging markets, which I will just cover very briefly. And then anything in blue are the markets that are waiting to break out and become pink flags. So we're going to start on the weekly chart, and this is USD CAD. And so, overall, there's still no trend on this on the weekly chart. We have a small bullish Kumo cloud forming, and we've had some resistance at this trend line here, if I turn that on. But what I want to look at is on the daily chart. So on the daily chart, we have 3 out of the 3 Senryoko Kyoten signals. So we have a gold cross, we have the Chico span above the candles, we have a nice bullish Kumo forming with a good structure so far, and we have a very large impulsive candle that closed back up above the Tenkan-sen. So I'm going to be looking this week for a break above this resistance level here. At the 1.36402 level. And as you can see too, we've had, we're coming into this Ichimoku time cycle. On the green vertical lines are the 26 period time cycles, and the blue are the 9 period. And so as you can see, we're getting very close to a Henka B, which, means we're going to get a reversal perhaps. So I'm looking for the price to move back up on an N wave like this. So I'm going to be looking for the breakout this week. So we got to keep our eye on that. We've got a lot of volume here, bullish volume, and but we need to confirm this N wave by getting a close above the resistance level. Now, if we do, this is going to be a very shallow retracement, as you can see on the Fibonacci retracement. And so what that means is that with a nice shallow retracement means we have a very strong trend up. Which means we could be reaching these Fibonacci extension levels up here, even all the way up to 1.43466 in the coming weeks and month. So let's keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's looking interesting this week for me. Now we're going to move to the pound US dollar. And so as you can see on the weekly chart, overall it's pretty bullish, but it's retracing right now. We're getting a touch on this trend line here. As you can see, we've actually dipped slightly below, so it's a tad bit bearish. We could be seeing price reach back down to these lower levels here. We have the Chico span, pretty far away from the candles, so we might have some ranging going on. But let's take a look at the daily for a little bit more detail, but just know overall that we have a pretty big bullish Kumo cloud, so we could find support here and head back up. But let's see what the daily looks like, because I think we're going to keep going down a bit. So as you can see on the daily, right now guys, we had that major trend line, right, and we've had a break below, a retest here on the Senko span B, right? And so we have 3 out of the 3 Senryoko Gyokoten signals, which are the Senryoko Kyoten is 3 positive signals, the trend signals in the bullish direction, and Senryoko Gyokoten means the same thing, just in the bearish direction. So if you hear me say Senryoko Kyoten, that just means that we have the trend signals. And so the trend signals are the Ichimoku death cross, right? Chico span below the candles, and now we're getting this N wave below the Senko span B, and we have price breaking below. So that's the third out of the 3 out of 3 Senryoko Gyokoten signals. And I'm waiting for price to break below this support level here at the 1.25479 level. If we get that break below and the close, we're going to get a nice move down to this next support level, which, if I measure that, if we get at least a 1-for-1, that's 198 pips down to this level, down as a 1-to-1. So, let's keep an eye on that. But overall, a lot of bearish volume here also. And I'm expecting further continuation down on this N wave. we got a nice little bearish Kumo forming. And yeah, so I'm just waiting for that. I'm gonna see if that happens this week because I think it could be a very strong move. All right, to the next pair. Okay, guys. Now, as you can see, we are on the weekly chart of the Euro US dollar. And overall, this is a bullish Kumo, but now we have price that's broken down below the Tenkan and the Kijun-sen. And it's also broken below this trend line here. So let's just adjust that. Okay, so this is looking pretty bearish right now, and you're gonna see that in more detail on the daily chart. So here we are on the daily chart, right, guys? And we have 3 out of the 3 Senyoku Gyukoten signals, the bearish Ichimoku trend signals. So we have death cross here, we have the Chico span below the candles, and we had price break below the Senko span B, which is this really thick line. So guys, if you're wondering so Senko span B is the really thick line. I made it a little bit thicker here, and Senko span A is a little bit thinner. And so Senko span B, we talked about this in previous videos, but that's like defeating the final boss, right? And that shows a major change in momentum in the market. And so when we see that, we have the bearish Senyoku Gyukoten signals on the daily chart. We got to start looking to take trades in that direction, right? So I'm expecting this to be an N wave down, and I'm expecting price to let's measure a 1-for-1 move here. So that's 179 pips. So we can expect, I'm expecting price to reach back down to this next support level here, which was around 100 pips. So hopefully we see the breakout this week, but we're very close. But we also need to make sure that we watch out for double bottoms. So keep your eye on that. Last week in the markets were pretty tricky. We had a lot of false breakouts, a lot of double bottoms. So keep your eyes on that. But yeah. Let's move on to the next chart. Okay, guys, so we are here. Oh, well, this is supposed to be on the daily chart, so just ignore that. Here, let's put that like that. So we are here on the Euro Swiss franc on the weekly chart, and you can see that, overall this is pretty bearish. We have price below the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen. We have a small bearish Kumo cloud, but we still have Senko span B flat, and this cloud is too small. It doesn't have enough steam in it yet, and we're gonna need more. We're gonna need more steam. And guys, not to get distracted here, but I want to explain something real quick. When you see the Kumo cloud really skinny and tiny like this, this is not a reliable signal yet, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let's go up and look at this, right? You see, at first this cloud gets pretty skinny, right? But we need to retrace and build up more steam. And once we build up more steam, then we know that there's more people trapped in positions in the ranging market, right? And once those people get trapped, there's more liquidity and there's more stop losses set and there's more orders in place, right? And once that steam builds in the cloud, that gives us the momentum to move down to the next level, right? So these thin clouds really are not strong enough. Look. I'm gonna do a little bar replay. Okay, so this is what I want to show you guys. You see right here that we've just had the Senyoku Gyukoten signals, right? The death cross, Chico span below the candles, and we had a break below the Senko span B. But we still have a really tiny Kumo cloud here. And so we need to let it build up steam. And this is what I mean by getting people trapped in positions, right? So the ranging market traps people in positions. People who think the market's going to be a long, and people who want to go short, right? So that's what is building up in this cloud. These are all the positions building up in this cloud and forming a base before we can reach the next levels, right? So let's watch this price action. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. So look now, we've had some ranging going on, right? And now the structure of the cloud is looking much better. Look, but we had a fake breakout here, right? So we tried to break below this support level, fake breakout. Now people were getting long, right? And people got trapped long, and now the price is going to move back down. So finally, but here we go again, guys, see? But as you see, the Kumo cloud starts getting a much fatter, stronger structure. And this is what we want to see, because once we know that enough steam and enough traders have been trapped in this ranging market and enough positions have been built up, then we know that there's a more likely chance that something's going to break and price is going to move back down in the trending direction, right? So this is a nice structure here. But when we first saw the cloud, it wasn't a strong enough structure. So now we can expect price is probably going to start breaking down soon. Hopefully. Okay, and there you have it. Right there, guys. So we got to break below and probably get an N wave. Right, and then this is when the next trends go. But before, we needed to build up that base. We needed to get people trapped in positions, people who were getting long here, people who were getting short here, right? We needed to build that up first and build a nice structure on the cloud. So that's just what I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to keep this back, focus on the analysis, but I don't know, just thought that was a good moment for you guys to learn a little bit more about Kumo cloud structure. And so, as you can see, we have started to build a pretty nice Kumo cloud structure here on the daily chart. Now this is still Euro Swiss franc, and we have price now closing below the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen, but everything's still flat, right? So until we get everything pointing, all 5 lines pointing down, we're going to need to close below this support level, which is 0.95156. But I'm expecting the Chico span to break below the candles, and I'm expecting price to break below the candles. And I'm also expecting price to move down to this next support level here, which is the 0.94073 level. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this week, and if we get that breakout, I'm going to be looking to enter a trade perhaps. Excuse me. But yeah, let's move to the next pair. So now we're going to be getting into the ranging markets. So this is US dollar, Japanese yen. And look guys, this is bullish, right? But this is a small Kumo cloud, so it really can't be trusted yet. We haven't built a nice enough structure yet. So, this is not a strong enough Kumo. But let's go to the daily chart. So on the daily chart, you can see that, last week we got a false breakout here above this resistance level, which is this long wick, right? And it looks like we have like a pretty strong double top here, and it's now forming a Y wave. So this is a very tricky market. I'm probably not going to be looking to trade this one this week. I will keep monitoring it and see if it breaks out above this resistance level, which is the 146.681 level. But until then, this is a Y wave and the Kijun-sen's flat, so price could reverse back down to these levels after another false breakout onto this trend line of this Y wave. So this, like I said, guys, this is a tricky wave structure to trade. We're gonna be wanting to look more for P waves, which are the opposite angles. So it looks like the letter P. It's pretty easy to remember, and I think I have an example of one of those to show you later. So keep watching. But yeah, so for me, this is right now I'm not too interested in this market. All right, let's move to the next pair. Okay, guys, this is US dollar, Swiss franc. And as you can see on the weekly chart, so price is retracing now. We had a bearish Kumo, but price has broken above the Tenkan-sen and is heading back towards this flat Kijun-sen. But let's get more detail on the daily. So guys, this price is pretty much in the cloud right now. Looks like a bullish Kumo cloud twist is forming, but no steam in that cloud yet. So this is just a ranging market. And we're heading into one of the time cycles here. So, price could reverse back down again. But either way, it's just going to be ranging this week, so I'm not looking to trade this market. Next pair. Okay, guys, this is New Zealand versus the Japanese yen, and we had a nice retracement here. Looks like it found some support, but overall price on the daily chart is just in the cloud. So this is a ranging market, and until we get a breakout of this support level, I'm not going to be looking to trade this market. Next pair. Okay, guys, this is the British pound, Japanese yen. Overall, pretty bullish. Bullish Kumo cloud, price above the Tenkan-sen. However, these are all flattening out, right? So we could be seeing price retrace. And overall, we just we're seeing the price starting to round out at the top here, which is just a signal that it's losing speed and it's losing momentum. And so I'm expecting price to, right now price is below the Tenkan-sen on the daily chart. So I'm expecting price to come back down to this Kijun-sen level here, which is the 181.573 level. That's right there. So yeah, this is just going to be a ranging market this week until I see anything different. Okay, guys, so this is the British pound, Swiss franc. This is the weekly chart, and price is just inside the cloud right now. So this is a ranging market here. Now we do have a bullish Kumo cloud forming here, but it's pretty strange structure because it's lower right now, and it looks weird. You don't really see that too often. So this is just a ranging market on the weekly. But if we look at the daily chart, you can see too that, this is still a ranging market. You got up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Chico span overlapping the candles. But it looks like we have a bearish Kumo forming. But we're gonna need price, and we have, okay, so this is interesting. So we've had a lot of touches on this support line, and we have this bearish Kumo cloud forming. So if we can get a break below this trend line here, and then a close below the support level at 1.10576, we could see a move back down to this support level here on the 1.08751 level, or to this one also as a first target. But this has been a pretty tricky market, so it's still ranging. So I would wait until price breaks below the support level to look for a position. And I don't know if that's going to happen this week or not. So that's why we have this on the ranging market list. Next pair. Okay, guys. We are on British pound, CAD, and this is bullish. That is a big fat cloud. We got price above the Tenkan and the Kijun-sen. Chico span above the candles. However, we have a lower high from this impulse candle here. So this looks like price has lost some momentum here. And you can see this bearish volume too on the weekly chart. But let's look at the daily. Okay, guys. So this is what I'm expecting. So we've had price supported by this trend line, but right now price is just hanging out on this trend line, and this time cycle is located right here, the 26 period one, and this Senko span B level is very long and very flat, which could attract price below the Kijun-sen back down to these levels here. But overall, this is just a really choppy ranging market. Everything's flat, so I'm going to avoid trading this market. Next pair. Okay, guys, this is British pound, Australian dollar, and you can see overall bullish on the weekly chart. However, Tenkan-sen is now flat and price is starting to retrace. The Kijun-sen is still pointing up, and Senko span Senko span A is pointing up, but Senko span B is flat. And we've had a lot of bearish volume in the past 2 weeks. But let's take a look at the daily. So on the daily, you can see that we've had a reversal here at this time cycle, the 9 period time cycle. So we could be finding support here at these levels, but if we break below this support level, the 1.94858, we're going to be heading back down to this level here, which is the 1.92218, which is just at this flat section of the Senko span B. So we're going to keep an eye on that, but this is just right now a choppy ranging market. Okay, next guys, this is Euro, Japanese yen. Price is bullish above the Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen. Clouds pointing up, everything's pointing up. Chico span's above the candles. But we're getting a lot of resistance here at this level. This is 159.761 level. So until we can break that level, right now you can see on the daily chart that we are just chopping back and forth in this ranging market. But it looks like price is still continuing higher. But this is just a ranging market right now. And we're in this is a Y wave also. So just look at that, boom. And here, right? So this is a very tricky market. And I'm just expecting to bounce back and forth off of this Y wave trend lines. Perhaps we get a close above this resistance level, but this is going to be, tricky. It could be a false breakout. So I'm going to avoid this market this week. Next market is the Euro Pound. This is the weekly chart. Overall, it is bearish, but this is still in kind of awkward cloud structure. This line pointing up like that. So I'm waiting for the Chico span to break through the Senko span B, and we're going to need price to break below this support level here. So let's take a look at that on the daily chart. So yeah, on the daily, guys, you can see Chico span. The Chico span is our friend. When we want to know what a ranging market is, we got to look at the Chico span. So the Chico span, when it's going like that, we know that this is a ranging market, and we know that the Chico span likes to trace the candles sometimes. So right now the Chico span's hanging out around here. So I'm expecting Chico to trace back up these candles and back up to the Senko span B level. But to get more trend continuation, we're going to need a close below this support level, which is the 0.84928 level. And we could see a nice move down to this next level after that, which is the 0.83398. But yeah, as you can see, we have a bullish candle here on the daily, and it looks like we're going to get an N wave up because this is we're finding some confluence here on the 26 period time cycle. Yeah, so let's keep our eyes on that. But like I said, this is a ranging, tricky market, so I'm going to avoid this market this week. Okay guys, we're back. This is EuroCAD on the weekly, and as you can see, this is just a ranging market. We got the Kijun-sen and Tenkan-sen overlapping, and I mean we have Senko span A and B pointing up, but as you can see, price is just kind of stuck right now between these ranges. And on the daily, it's even more evident with the Chico span going up and down, and these clouds are just pretty flat and twisty. So I'm going to avoid this market. So next one. Okay, we're on Euro AUD. Now, overall, this is bullish. Price is just right now retracing back down to this flat Tenkan-sen. But the Kijun-sen's pointing up, Senko span A and B are both pointing up. So this is a pretty nice trend on the weekly so far. And we've had price supported on this trend line here. So far like that, right? So overall, this is a pretty strong trend on the weekly chart. And that's why I'm expecting price to keep heading back up. And also, I'm expecting this reversal to happen around this September 7th, which is going to be around Thursday. Anywhere from this is the 9-period cycle says Tuesday, September 5th, and then the 26 period says Thursday, September 7th. But either way, I'm looking for this bounce to happen around these days, and then I'm looking for price to continue back up. But I'm not going to be looking to trade until we break out above this level here, which is the 1.70659 level. So that's why this is on the orange list. We're just going to need to wait for price to get back up closer to breaking out. So let's move to the next market. Okay, guys. Overall, this is Swiss franc, Japanese yen, very bullish. Price is above the Tenkan, the Kijin, but everything, and the Senko Span B and A, we got a nice, it's okay. It's not the best Kumo structure. It's a little bit skinny, but you can see that, you know, we've had a really nice long trend up here. So, you know, it was a pretty good trend, but let's take a look at the daily for a little more detail, because we're starting to get a wide gap between the Kijin-sen and price. And so typically when this happens and these lines become flat, price is going to retrace back. And that's why if you look at the daily, you can see that we had a double top here. And so that's why I'm expecting price to come back down to closer to the cloud levels. But we're going to need to wait for this support level to break, which is the 164.146 level. So until then, I just think this market will be a little bit rangy, and I'm not expecting a breakout yet this week. But if that happens, I will keep my eye on this pair and look to see if we can take any trades. All right, next pair. Okay, guys, this is CAD Swiss franc. And as you can see, this is a bearish trend so far. We got price below the Tenkan and the Kijin-sen, and everything's pointing down. Senko Span A is pointing down, Kijin and Tenkan, but we don't have Senko Span B pointing down. And we have a lot of little tiny doji candles. So this is showing me that there's a lot of fighting from the bears and the bulls around this key level here. And there's a lot of indecision in the market. And so if you look on the daily chart, we can see this indecision a little bit better. And so we have just, price is back up above, it's in between the Tenkan and the Kijin-sen. And so everything's flat and we're still ranging. So we're gonna need, and this is also a Y wave, like I mentioned before, which is very tricky. It's where you get a lot of these false breakouts because the price just keeps dipping a little bit lower and then a little bit lower, and it's getting people excited that the trend's going to start again, and then it just gets blasted off this line back up to this line, so you see this like whipsaw action, right? Which is that can be very volatile and very tricky to trade. So just protect yourselves, and if you see these Y waves, just try and avoid those. And that's why I have this on the ranging market list. Next pair. Okay, guys, Australian dollar, Japanese yen. This is a bullish Kumo, but this is flat. Not enough steam. Perhaps this could be an N wave up like that, but we're going to need to wait for more steam to build up. And so until then, let's take a look here at the daily. So you guys can see that on the daily chart, price is just flying in this turbulence in the cloud. Chico spans up and down, clouds twisting over, and it's flat. And so we're just stuck between these two levels, the 95.067 and 92.792. So until we get a defined breakout in either direction, this is just a ranging market. Okay, guys, this is Australian dollar, Swiss franc, and we are looking at a bearish trend here. Price below the Tenkan-sen, Kijin-sen, Senko Span A and B, and everything's pointing down. So overall, this is a pretty strong trend. However, we are heading into this support here, and it looks like price is starting to bounce from this level here. This support level is the 0.56070 level. Now let's take a look at the daily chart. So yeah, guys, on the daily chart, we had price kind of retrace back to the Kijin-sen, but you can see now that we're moving into these time cycle lines here. So I'm expecting price to make another N wave down. So we can look out for that. Let me put an arrow in here. Okay, guys. Sorry, I thought I drew those in here earlier. So I'm expecting price to reverse from this level here, get resisted by this Kijin-sen, and for price to move back down in this direction. You can see that the Chico span is about to hit into the candles, and so I'm thinking we're going to at least retrace back down to the support level, and it could be a double bottom, or we could get a close below and continue the trend. We had some we had some pretty bearish volume here also. But we're going to need more information. So until this happens, until we get price back below the Tenkan-sen, this is just going to be a ranging market for me. Next pair is AUD CAD. And this is the weekly chart. We got a pretty nice Kumo starting to form. Price is below the Tenkan and the Kijun-sen. But everything's flat. All the lines are flat. So this could be the next beginning of a next trend, but we're going to need more price action. And so let's take a look at the daily. So on the daily chart, you can see that price has been resisted at this trend line, and we're moving, price is starting to reverse off this time cycle line here, which is the 26 period is on September 4th. So you guys, I draw all these time cycles in on the daily chart, and someone was asking me, do the Kihan Suchi numbers and the time cycles work on the lower time frames? And I would say, these numbers work on all time frames. However, the lower time frame you go, the choppier and less reliable the signals are. So if you make time cycles on the weekly or the daily chart, it's a little more stable and it's easier to predict, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's a stronger usage of the Ichimoku time theory. So just keep that in mind, and that's why I like to use the daily chart, because I feel like it works really well on the daily, and so it's been working for me, and I'm going to keep doing it that way. But you can see, guys, look, all these wicks, we have a lot of indecision in the market, which means that this is a key level, and when we have indecision on an impulse wave up, usually this indecision means that we're going to come back down, right? So that's what doji candles represent usually. But we're going to need more price action, and so until then, this is a ranging market. Next market is CAD, Japanese yen. Now, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. Here we have a P wave. So this is what we want to see. Look, it looks like the letter P. If I draw a line in like this, right? That's a P. So just remember that, but a P wave is nice because P waves typically break out in the direction of the trend. So we have a bullish Kumo here, still flat, still kind of small, and probably needs a little bit more steam. But if we get a breakout in this direction, we get a break above these resistance levels here. This is the 109.508 level. We could see a nice strong continuation up on this trend. And let me just show you something. So as you can see, we've retraced back down to the 0.382 level, which is a pretty shallow retracement. And so just from judging that, if we draw an extension on, it's possible that we see in the next trend, we could reach these levels here, right? And I'm not sure where the heck my time cycles went on this one, so I'm going to draw those on real quick. Oh, okay, I got them, guys. I just have my time cycles drawn on the daily chart, so the weekly chart would be a little bit cleaner. So let's look at this. So guys, look, this is the P wave I've been talking about. You can see that price is just steadily getting a little bit higher, and it's been resisted on this top trend line here, right? And I'm expecting price to break up. So if we get a close above this 109 level, on this next trend up, we could reach these upper levels here because this was such a shallow retracement. So let's keep our eyes on that. But yeah, this is on the blue flag list. So we need to break out of this P wave, and we need to break this resistance level, and then I'll be looking to enter. And let's see what happens, because looks like we could be getting a break between the end of this week to the next week. So I'm going to keep my eye on this pair, and it could be sooner. So just, keep this one on your list to keep an eye on. Next chart, last but not least, this is Australian dollar, US dollar. Excuse me. So just overall, there's not really that strong of a trend here on the weekly chart. You can see, if I just draw on this trend line here, that price is getting supported on here. Looks pretty like it's working pretty nice. But let's look on the daily. So guys, on the daily, got a nice impulse wave down. We're starting to build the base and we're starting to add steam to the Kumo. And right now, price is just hanging out at the Tenkan-sen. I don't know if you can see that. So if price breaks below that, we could get this N wave down. So I'm looking for price to break this trend line. This is the major trend line we just drew, and this is the support level. So if we can close below the 0.63646 level, we can start looking to enter, and this could be a really nice trend down. There's a lot of liquidity and there's a lot of space to run down to these next support levels. So we could see a nice run down, and let's see what a measured move would look like. So so far this range is about 157 pips. So if we go 157, that leaves us right around this 0.62083 level. So yeah, pretty close down to this this resistance level, or this support level down here. So keep your eyes on that. This is on the blue list. I will be watching this very closely this week. But yeah, guys, and then so that's it for the charts, and let's just run quickly through the news. So on Monday, we're going to have the Swiss franc GDP announcement. We're going to have the Euro President Lagarde speech. And Tuesday, we're going to have AUD. For the AUD, we're going to have an interest rate decision and the rate statement. And Wednesday, we're going to have the GDP for Australian dollar. We're going to have retail sales coming out for the euro, ISM services PMI for the US dollar, and we're going to have Bank of Canada interest rate decision on September 6th. This is also on Wednesday. Look out for that. And then on Thursday, we're going to have the AUD trade balance, and we're going to have the pound monetary policy report hearings. We're going to have the Euro GDP numbers come out, and we're also going to have the CAD Governor Macklem speech. And then Friday, we're going to have for the Euro the German Harmonized Index of Consumer Prices. And CAD, we're going to have a net change in employment and unemployment rate. So lots of news this week. Keep your eye on that. Make sure that you are very careful. If you're entering a trade, always check this before, just to know that you're not trading before an announcement comes out, because you could have a very volatile move against you or for you. But if it's against you and it hits your stop loss, there could be a lot of slippage, and you might not get a good deal for that. So be careful. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining me again for this analysis. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next week, guys, peace.